Hi guys, welcome back, and again, thanks for viewing. Hope everyone's doing okay with all this isolation that's going on at the moment, but you're doing the right thing. You really are. Anyway, the album I want to have a look at this time is one of my personal favourites, all-time albums, and that's this one, David Bowie's Blackstar. Now, this to me it's brilliant. It really is good. Now I've said that probably about most of the albums I talk about, but I remember the first time I listened to this, and it just puts you in the mood of each track, if you know what I mean. People who listen to a lot of music know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. I mean, the sad thing, of course, it was his very last studio album, his 20th album, in fact. And over the years, he has done some fantastic albums, let's face it. The only time I went off David Bowie, fair enough, was when he went through his Let's Dance phase, or I think he called it his Phil Collins phase. I've got the album here, Let's Dance, but it's not my favourite. You know, I've played it, enjoyed it, and it's sort of sat alphabetically with all the others. But when I look at the other ones I've got, like Lodger or Low or Ashes to Ash, Scary Monsters, are fantastic albums. But this one I put above all of those. Okay. He actually, I mean, it's a bittersweet album, of course, because it was soon after he released this album. Unfortunately, we lost him. It was actually recorded while he was suffering from liver cancer, and obviously later on it got worse. He started writing it pretty much as soon as he finished his previous album, which was the next day. So you could sort of say maybe he had an inkling. He wanted to get as much material out as he could, because Freddie Mercury did the same. When he knew that he was coming to an end, he told the guys, "Look, just put me some words and I'll sing them for you." You know. Now, yeah. So it's quite a sad album, but it's still got a real genius about it. There's two tracks on here. I think it's Sue or In a Season of Crime and 'Tis a Pity She Was a Whore, were previously released, but he re-recorded them for this album. I believe it's something because he was a saxophone player, of course, as well as everything else, and I believe he re-recorded, or he re-recorded the saxophone, or he put saxophone on it. I'm not too sure. It's a long time. Well, I don't think I've even heard the others, to be honest. Or I may have done, and they've just sat in the back of my music mind and got mixed up with everything else that's in the back of there with the dust. But it is a good album. It really is. I mean, when it was released, it made number one. In fact, it was number one probably by in about 80% of the world's music charts, and it was platinum everywhere. I believe it sold over 1,900,000 copies around the world. Very highly acclaimed, and it made number one before his sad death. But it is a brilliant album, it really is. The singles that were released from it, or I don't know if they call them singles nowadays, or whether it's just a promotion film they do, but the single that came off it, or the promotional films, are Blackstar itself, the title track, the song Lazarus, a hauntingly beautiful track, and the other hauntingly brilliant, beautiful track is I Can't Give Everything Away. All three of them were great. They're very dark, and you could tell when you watch the video. Now, I remember when I watched the promo films ages ago, I didn't know whether he was really ill or whether he was doing a character, because of course he was an actor as well, doing lots of films over the years. However, now the highlights for me on this. Now, this is a difficult one because it's such a good album. It really is. The highlights for me is probably the title track, Blackstar. I think it's about no, it might be longer than that, 9 minutes long. I should have checked that out before I did this. And it is brilliant. It's so haunting and it's dark. It really is good. And the other one on here for me, which was a really catchy track, is Girl Loves Me. Now, if they'd probably got rid of some of the expletives on the song, they probably could have made a single with it, because it's quite catchy. You know, it's quite commercial compared to some of the other stuff that's on here. But there you go. A superb album. I rate this very, very highly, and I say I've got lots of David Bowie studio albums. I think I've got them all of his studio albums and a couple of live ones. But this one is definitely up there with, to me, oh crumbs, Lodger, Low, his very first album, David Bowie. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I always say this: give it a listen. But this is a good album. Give it a listen. Thanks again, and remember, stay indoors, stay safe, and help the NHS. Cheers, guys. Speak to you again. Bye.